Hello friends, again your Tejashree Mohorekar presenting before you what is descriptive statistics in research from Unit 3 Part 2. We have started with what is descriptive statistics in our Part 1 session. In this we have seen what is descriptive statistics and descriptive statistics divided into three, that is distribution, central tendency and measures of dispersion. So we have covered the distribution and the central tendency in part 1. Today we will see what is measures of dispersion categorized under range, variance and standard deviation. So quick review what we have seen in part 1. In statistics, we have to deal with the mean, mode and the median. Combinedly, these are known as central tendency, where the mean is simply the average. The mode is a value or category that occurs most often within the data, that is a repeated value, a frequently coming value. Maximum time is known as a mode, and the median is the middle value or the midpoint in your data set. So this we have seen in our last session, part 1. When we plot the mean, mode, median, we'll get descriptive statistics as in a bell-shaped, and univariate analysis means the peak value is not crowded and it has only one peak value. Then coming to measures of dispersion. Dispersion refers to the spread of values around a central tendency. So spread of values means what? If this is the median, this is the mean. Mean means what? Average value of the data set. And if suppose here is the data point, then this data point, how it is spread, how long it is spread when mean is considered. So if here is a data point, then how the data point is spread or located at a distance from the mean. So this can be calculated using the measures of dispersion. There are two common measures of dispersion, that is range and standard deviation. Also there is one more, that is variance. We'll see what is range. The range is simply the highest value minus the lowest value. From the data set, point of data set, the range is calculated by the highest value minus the lowest value. So the highest value is 36 and the lowest value is 15. So my range is given as 36 minus 15, that is 21. So range is calculated in this way, the highest value minus the lowest value. Coming to the variance, second form of the dispersion is the variance. Variance is most commonly used measure of dispersion. It is calculated by taking average of the square differences between each value and the mean. So the variance is calculated as the data point minus the mean of the data point, and it is the difference and it is square of a number and the mean value, and it is the difference. So variance measures how far data points spread out from the mean value. The highest variance indicates that the data points are spread widely, and the small variance indicates that the data points are closer to the mean of the data set, and it is calculated as the variance equals to 1 upon n. N means the number of data. It is a summation taking value from I equals to 1 to n, and in the bracket this is the data point minus the mean of the data point and bracket square. So again we will see from a pictorial representation, if the variance is here situated, the value is here, then it is calculated how far is the variance value when mean is considered. How far the value is from the mean value of the data point. Again it is shown graphically. Coming to the measure of dispersion, standard deviation. The standard deviation is more accurate and detailed estimate of dispersion because an outlier can greatly exaggerate the range. The variance is calculated to show how our data is spread across the data points when mean is considered, but several times it gives a wrong result. So a standard deviation has been formed which gives you the more accurate results than the variance. So the square root of variance is called as a standard deviation. The square root of the variance is called as the standard deviation. It is calculated at standard deviation equals to, as I said, it is the square root of variance. And what is variance? We have seen in the earlier slide that variance is nothing but the summation of the difference between the data point minus the mean bracket square and divided by total number of values in it. And then it is again square rooted to give us the standard deviation. Standard deviation is a statistics that looks at how far from the mean a group of numbers is by using a square root of the variance. Again is the type of dispersion, so it will tell you how our data point is located from the mean value. If the data points are further from the mean, there is highest deviation, that is higher deviation within the data. If they are closely to the mean, then there is a lower deviation. So the more spread out the group of numbers are, the higher the standard deviation. As we have seen in our figure that if the data point is somewhere located here, then it is far from the mean, so we can say that the standard deviation is highest. If the data point is here somewhere, then we can say that the standard deviation is the lowest or the minimum. So in this way we can see the standard deviation and variance is a measure which tells how spread out numbers is. And what are the numbers? The numbers are nothing but your sample data. While variance gives you a rough idea of spread, the standard deviation is more concrete, giving you the exact distances from the mean. Variance only tells you how far it is from the mean, whereas a standard deviation gives you the correct position and the correct value, how far it is located from the mean. So standard deviation is more accurate than the variance. And again the standard deviation is the square root of variance. Consider our example. This is my data points. These 8 data points have the mean average 5, and how to calculate that? That sum of all these numbers divided by total numbers, that in this way I get the value is the 5. So variance is the sum of squares of differences between all the numbers and the mean. So here the variance is calculated as 2 is my data point minus 5 is my mean value and its square. So I am calculating only this part. Here x minus mean value and its square. So if I calculate all the value, I get different data point, that is 9, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 4 and 16. These are my values, and again only this part I have calculated. So to calculate variance, I have to divide sum of all these values divided by total numbers, which gives me the variance. So to calculate variance, addition of all these numbers divided by total numbers, and this will give you me the variance, that is 4. This is the formula to calculate the variance. Variance is denoted by sigma square. So once the variance is calculated, I simply do the square root of variance, which gives me the standard deviation. The square root of variance is called a standard deviation. So we have already calculated what is the variance. So my value for variance is 4. So standard deviation is the square root of 4, that is 2. So for this example, my standard deviation is 2. It says that from the mean value, my standard deviation is located at the second position, or the value is 2. So coming to the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics. We have seen how to calculate the descriptive statistics by using the distribution chart, by using the central tendencies, followed by mean, mode and median, and then coming to the measure of dispersion covers the range, variance and standard deviation. Now, what is the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics? Descriptive statistics help us to simplify large amount of data in a sensible way, as it gives the summarization of the data. It is very sensible way to identify what our data looks like. So this gives the descriptive statistics. Again, descriptive statistics are typically distinguished from inferential statistics. With descriptive statistics, you are simply describing what is and what the data shows. With inferential statistics, you are trying to reach conclusions that extend beyond the immediate data alone. So, only to know what is our data and what does the data shows. In inferential statistics, we are going beyond it. We are reaching to the conclusion what actually our data says about the population. So this calculations has been done in the inferential statistics. So in inferential statistics, we use statistics to try out, understand from the sample data what the population might think, how our population is. From population, what we are going to conclude, or we use inferential statistics to make judgmental decisions over to the sample, and then representing that decision to the whole population, we do the inferential statistics of the probability that an observed difference between groups is dependable, one or more data that might have happened by chance in this study. Thus, we use inferential statistics to make inferences from our data to more generalized conditions, and with the help of descriptive statistics, simply to describe what's going on in our data set. So what is data? Again, it is a sample. So inferential is beyond the descriptive statistics. So this is a major difference between inferential and descriptive statistics. These two are the important branches of statistics. So thank you everyone for this session. Hope you understand. Don't forget whatever we have seen so far. We have covered descriptive statistics part 1 and part 2. Here we have completed. Enjoy family time. Stay home. Stay safe. Thank you so much.